Right, hello there everyone. Well, this is the second part of, I suppose the next one, the progression from hovering into forward flight and actually trying to do some bank turns to be able to turn while we're travelling forward at some speed. So, same as before, get the helicopter light on the skids, remember to use our feet. On the Cabri it's right foot. Got a bit of forward on at the moment, still not touching anything, but we're going forward. And as I've said before, don't panic, get it back to where you want, then straighten it up and remember to use your feet. So following on from the hovering video, we can go down here, and at these sort of speeds the foot pedals are doing a fair bit of the control for the position the helicopter's travelling in. But as you will see, if we turn it just slightly left, the helicopter carries on in a straightforward line. If we put a bit of right pedal on, helicopter's still travelling on in a straight line. So to actually make it turn, we would have to add some right bank. You see the helicopter rock right there. Push forward. We'll follow the runways. Push forward again. Now a bit of right. And at the moment, don't do anything else, just but tap the stick right. Try and learn to control the speed again and the height. Follow the runway down, so we're drifting left. Push left. Get that white dot of the Avi tab over the centre line of the runway. Push forward. Maybe hold it for a little bit longer to get some speed going. Don't have to be that precise, just keep it going. Now, if you've got your trim set up, you could start, because we're now starting to move into forward flight, you could actually start trimming the helicopter so you wouldn't have to keep touching it. But of course, when you return back to the hover, then you might find yourself going backwards or sideways or so on. So at this point, just keep touching. We're a bit higher off the ground, but it's exactly the same applied. But push forward, hold it a bit longer, and then push right. Helicopter will bank a bit and straighten itself out. Helicopter will bank a bit, straighten itself out. Bank a bit. It's like a pendulum hanging underneath at this speed. So bank a bit, push forward, you slow down too much. Hit left pedal, push forward. And at these speeds you can get away with doing it the way I'm doing it, which is push forward again, we come back over the centre line, push forward, bit of left pedal, push forward, and then when we get to the turn, bit of right, bank it, again, not enough, so hold it on a bit longer, push forward, make sure we don't lose that speed, and just keep touching it that way. Now, even while you're doing these very slow manoeuvres, trying to keep the height the same, it's very easy to become what we call right or left-handed. And so somewhere like Shoreham, where we've got these radio beacons in the centre, get yourself some forward speed on, left, pedal a bit, push the stick the other way. Just get used to making sure that you can turn both directions, push forward, push forward, a bit more left, going to try a figure of 8, a bit more left, bit of height, push forward, now we're past it, we'll pull a bit of right, stick, push forward, slow down a bit too much then, push forward, keep that speed going, and pull on the stick just a bit to the right, pull on the stick just a bit to the right. As we slow down, a bit of stick to the right, The helicopter will tend to level itself out, push forward. Now we're going left foot. Push to the left, and on this helicopter, left pedal. Push forward. Push left pedal a little bit, keep it turning. Push forward. Straighten up a bit, push forward. Right, now, once you get confident in doing the pushing forward part and the fact that you know the helicopter's going to start levelling itself out, try and maintain a bit of forward on with the stick all the time. Now you have to forgive my shaky hands, as I always mention. It's a problem I've got, and I hope it doesn't put you off too much, but it just shows that you can do these things with quite shaky hands, let's say. It's not too bad today, so pushing forward, keeping that speed going, and bank to the right. So the faster we go, the more we're going to have to push over right or left. And at these speeds, we can get away with just pushing the stick over and letting the helicopter push forward, keeping that speed on, let it go. It looks untidy, but it works. There you go. Push forward because we were slowing down. Push forward. Now, because it's the Cabri, it's going to be a bit more faster forward. And a bit of right pedal as we pull to the right. A little bit, lost a bit of speed, so push forward a bit. Try and then start holding the pedal on and the stick a bit longer. So you've noticed there, I've held the stick on rather than letting it go. So this time, might be going a bit fast, but we push forward. Start pushing the bank over to the left. We lost our forward speed there, so I'm far from perfect at doing this. So again, try and keep the speed forward, keep the bank on, a little bit left, a little bit left. Let go, let it straighten up. A bit close to the marker this time, but remember to try and keep some forward speed on. Right pedal and bank to the right. Pull it round right. If you feel unsure, let it go. Right, now we've risen up a little bit too high now, so I'm just going to drop the collective down. And again, the reason was the faster the forward speed we do, we get transitional left and the helicopter starts to go up on its own. So we drop back down, push forward, hold it a bit longer, get a bit forward speed going, and a gentle push to the left. Push forward, and a gentle push to the left. Push forward, gentle push to the left. Hold it a bit longer. Nose is coming up as we came out there. So this time, right pedal, push forward. Don't matter if it's bobbing, it looks untidy, I know at the moment, but they're just getting used to applying that collective, and again we've risen up quite high as you can see. Doesn't matter when you practice it. So we drop it down, use your collective, we're not frightened of going down. Left pedal, bank it to the left, push forward. Now as the speed increases, what will happen is that as we're banking it over, to make the turn even tighter, it might seem a bit weird first of all, but we have to then start pulling back on the stick. And by pulling back on the stick, it tightens the turn up. So if I push forward, bank, pull back on the stick just a little bit, it tightens that turn up. If we go forward here, bank to the right with the right pedal, but pull back on the stick. It pulls the nose of the helicopter round. And really the foot pedals are being used only for keeping the nose on the horizon. So far from tidy that, I know, but it's just passing on information. So when we're actually doing a turn at speed, so let's just pick up a little bit of speed forward, and we start banking, the turn is accomplished by pushing over, pulling back on the stick a bit, just jerk it round a bit like that, push forward, get some speed up, can try and control your height a bit. Maybe we pick that yellow circle or green circle, we use that as our turn, so we go a bit faster forward, holding forward on, bit of a bank over to the left pedal, and pull back on the stick, and that pulls the nose round, and then let it go, let it sort itself out. Push forward again, let's get some speed going. And then as we approach the runway, we're going to bank to the left, pull back on the stick to get the turn done. Now you might have to apply a little bit of collective, and then when it's done, just let go. Let it sort itself out, push forward. Get some speed going. Try and straighten yourself up, remember to use your feet. And then we're going to push over to the left, pull back on the stick, and more left pedal, and when we're round, let go. You might have to control the height a bit because we picked up some speed. And eventually, if you practice that left and right with your feet, as I'm going to say, because we become left or right handed, everyone has a preference one way or the other. And strangely enough, it's not always based on if you're left or right handed. So we go round here, we bank, doesn't matter if it's jerky, bank, and then pull back on the stick, pull back on the stick, pull back, push forward, keep that speed going, lower the collective a bit because we're going fast, and then bank over to the left a bit, push forward, we lost a bit of forward speed there, and then use the feet to keep the nose in a straight line from where you're going. So I'll go to the end of the runway here, pick up a bit of speed, bank over to the right, pull back, and right foot at the same time. Doesn't matter whether it's jerky. We've done the turn, let it go, let it straighten up, maybe drop the collective a bit so we don't go too high. Let's go to the other end of the runway, push forward, build up some speed. And we're going to push left and pull back and left pedal at the same time. And then once it's nearly there, let go. Drop the collective a little bit, keep your feet to keep it level. Again, we're not worried that it lost speed at this time. All we're worried about is the fact we're getting the turn done by pushing right on the clip, on the cyclic, and pulling back slightly. So we've got forward speed, bank right, put the right pedal on, and then pull back on the cyclic, and then once we're there, centre it, let it go, just go, let the helicopter settle. And they are the basic sort of practice manoeuvres for fast forward flight that eventually you'll be doing sort of second nature. So the faster the helicopter goes, so we did it much faster this time, follow this edge of the runway, we start banking to the left. Didn't even have to pull back on the stick on that one, managed that one with my feet only. push forward. I won't do the little dog leg here, I'll go in a straight line until we come to the main part of the runway. Keep going forward, bank over left, feet, left foot, pull back slightly and then push forward. Keep the speed going. Drop the height maybe a little bit, get a bit higher there. We're going to get to the end here, it's going to be quite a sharp bank this one. So bank it over, left foot, pull back on the stick. When it's there, let it go back to normal, hands off even. Push forward, get going again. Hold it forward. By holding it forward, we might have to put a bit of right pedal on. Keep it going now. And control our height a little bit better. As we're getting there, just going to bank round to the left, pull back slightly, straighten up, push forward. Trying to keep that speed going all the time now, the forward speed without it stopping. So holding forward on. Left pedal, bit of a bank. And really that's all there, I see there is to it. It's practice. Now, it was slightly awkward because I kept the helicopter trimmed so that if anything went wrong we had to go down. You can see it sort of stopping itself. If we drop down to the floor, it should be a very easy landing because we'd had it trimmed for the hover from when we started. Now, certainly if you're doing a lot of forwards flight, one of the things you might want to do is to make sure that you have a good few clicks of trim on. And also, the faster we fly forward, you might have to put a left click or two on as well. So, for me, I'm now going to put on about 5 clicks of forward and 2 left. And that will actually make the job of flying forward at speed and doing the turn slightly easier. But when we come back to the hover, it's going to be a bit messier on trying to slow it down. So because we've got that forward trim on, it's kept going forward this time. Bit of left pedal, bit of bank left, pull back. Because that forward trim is on, might even add 2 more clicks forward. That will now just keep forward speed going all the time. Don't worry about trying to line it up on anything too much, just the straight lines of the runway are good enough. To our left, so it's going to be quite a sharp turn, left pedal, pull back on the stick as we bank over as well, that pulls the nose round, straighten up, push to the left a bit, gone off slightly there, and then get back online and use the circumference of this area. I'm sure everyone has their own favourite runways, but you'll be able to get used to going round, let's say, the outside of the runway, a bit like racing circuit. You know, you could then start picking up speed and getting used to your bank turns, and then go round it the other way round so you don't become right or left handed or right or left footed. So there we go, bank it over. As we came onto the straight, I had to drop the collective a bit because it would have gone up. I'm just going to keep following this grass line. And then get ready for the bank, left foot, bank it over, pull back on the stick slightly, push forward, turn complete, let it settle itself out. And I'm still having to hold a little bit of left on at the moment to keep it flying, so I could add more left trim, but I know that when I come back to the hover it's going to be a bit all over the place. I use the trims a lot manually because I find it difficult to hold on the position on the joystick. Some people can actually hold the trims on in a separate position, but because I've got these shaky hands, it's very difficult for me to hold on and offset for a long period of time. So let's just bring it back to the centre over here. I'm going to pull back a couple of clicks, 5 clicks, and add 2 to the right, and that might get me somewhere near a reasonable position for getting it back down into the hover. And as I said in the last one, don't worry about stopping dead. You're better off going forward and letting it slide on the skids at this stage than getting into the seesaw motion of backwards and forwards trying to obtain the perfect hover. Close that, and there we go. Right, well, thank you for watching it. I hope it was of interest to you. It is difficult to try and explain these things, that they do come second nature after a while, but I appreciate anyone that took the time to watch it, and I hope it was of some use to you, and I'll talk to you all again soon.